Sandcastles. Once upon a time, a wise woman met a little girl who loved nothing more than building sandcastles. Do you want to know what happened to her? She loved building sandcastles more than anything. It didn't bother her at all when the waves came and washed her castle away in the blink of an eye. She thought that if that happened, it was simply because the sea liked her castle so much that it wanted to take it so the fish could live and play in it. One day, her imagination was unstoppable, and since the moment she arrived at the beach, she hadn't stopped building. Her castle for the day would have a huge moat so that the water would take longer to reach it. But as always, when the tide rose at sunset, the waves swept the new castle away. She didn't mind, though. As she walked home, she was already thinking about what her sandcastle would look like the next day. That day, before starting to build, she took a swim. It was a really hot day, and she wanted to cool off before getting to work. Her brother encouraged her to share the inflatable mattress, and she agreed, since it wasn't very common for them to share it.
But don't go too far,
their mother told them.
No, Mom,
they promised. At first, the sea was calm. It seemed like a glassy lake, so they decided to venture a little farther out. They were very comfortable, but suddenly, without warning, the wind began to blow, and it grew stronger and stronger. The mattress started spinning, and her brother and she tried to paddle with their arms, but the wind turned into a whirlwind, and the mattress was pulled down into the depths of the sea, taking them along with it. Suddenly, a school of fish appeared to welcome them to the bottom of the sea. A crab and an octopus greeted them joyfully. Her brother and she couldn't believe their eyes. A giant oyster began to open and close its shell, and from inside it came words.
Hello, friend. We want to thank you for the sandcastles you make because the fish really love them and play with them.
Oh, but the water destroys them,
her brother replied.
Yes, but not completely. Every sandcastle you build and each grain of sand your sister uses remembers where it was. Down here at the bottom, they rearrange themselves in the same order and place, forming the same sandcastle your sister made.
I knew it,
she said, happy to have guessed that her castles would be enjoyed by the fish, who played with them just like she did.
We have a problem,
said the oyster.
We would like you to build us a really big castle, much bigger than any you've built before.
She didn't see what the problem was, since her brother was with her and would help her build it. The oyster, the octopus, and the crab were all very happy, and the fish offered to help them with the construction. The problem was that they had little time to finish it, because she remembered her mother's words and didn't want her to worry about them. The castle formed in her mind as quickly as always. She knew exactly what she wanted, so it was easy to build. With the help of her brother and the fish, she didn't need much time. When it was finished, the oyster, the octopus, and the crab were overjoyed, because each one now had their own little space in the huge, beautiful sandcastle. As her brother and she were about to swim back to the surface, a giant whale appeared, and with one swipe of its tail, it accidentally destroyed the massive castle. But just like before, the octopus, the oyster, and the crab didn't mind at all. It gave them a perfect excuse to gather again and build another sandcastle. She said goodbye to them, and as they swam back to the surface, she thought about what the new castle would be like. When she grabbed her towel to dry off, she noticed something in her hand that the oyster had given her as a sign of friendship. A beautiful pearl. She could show everyone that it hadn't been a dream, and that she had a new friend. Well, actually, 3 new friends. The oyster, the crab, and the octopus.
Mama, put your hand out. I have a gift for you.
Without hesitation, she placed the pearl in her mother's hand. Her mother, astonished, asked,
Where did you get this?
An old friend gave it to me,
she said, winking as she went off to build. Do you know what? Exactly, a new sandcastle.
Dear wise children, this story teaches us that creativity and imagination are endless, and what we build with love can have a bigger impact than we ever imagined. It also shows us the importance of perseverance, collaboration, and sharing with others. And remember, the best surprises and friends can appear in the most unexpected places. Keep building and dreaming.
And you know what they say? Story told, smile if you liked it.